to my podcast. This should be episode 11, and you're probably confused right now because this is not my normal setup. Typically, I'm set up at my desk with my PC and a drink, which I do have a drink to drink. We'll go over that in a second. But today, I wanted to challenge myself to be a little more relaxing because I tend to get a little worked up during my podcast episodes, and I'm typically not very chill or relaxing. So I wanted to try to do that for you guys today and see what your thoughts are. Now I did plan to sit down and record this podcast episode in this setup prior to something that just happened, but I just had a little experience. I'm not going to dive into details or anything. I just experienced something that gave me a lot of anxiety in my chest and my stomach. And I know a lot of you guys deal with anxiety too. So now that I've been through that experience, I'm feeling anxious right now. I'm kind of feeling like a pit in my stomach, and when I get anxiety, I feel like I can't breathe. I don't know if you guys experience that as well, or if that's just me, or if it, varies on the person. But I get a lot of physical anxiety when I feel anxious. My stomach feels like it is repeatedly dropping over and over. When you hear bad news or something scares you and your stomach drops, every breath it feels like my stomach drops. And I kind of feel like there's a literal physical weight on my chest that's making it hard to breathe. And I'm feeling that right now, and I've been feeling that for the last 15 minutes. So if you are struggling with anxiety right now, or if there's any time you're struggling with anxiety, I hope that this can help you. I thought we could kind of try to distract ourselves together, because that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I was going to record a podcast anyways, but then something happened, and now I'm feeling anxious. But I thought it would be nice to just, instead of saying, I'm not going to do the podcast, I'm having anxiety right now, I'm going to try to distract myself and just talk to you guys for the next hour or so. And hopefully you're not dealing with anxiety right now, but if you are, I'm hoping that this can be something that helps you out. I'm going to adjust this a little bit because I can't see my screen very well. Sorry. Alright, how's that? There we go. This is Porky. Porky usually stays in my car, but I took a trip recently. As most of you know, I went to California with some of my family, and I had to clean out my car because we took my car to the airport. And Porky was very, very dirty. He was literally covered in dirt, because I've had him for almost 10 years. And so I just washed him, and he's squeaky clean. He got all fluffy again in the dryer. So yay, Porky. So yeah, hi everybody, this is Porky, and he's hanging out with us right now. I'm sure Butters or Binks will end up coming and sitting with me soon enough. But yeah, so this is my living room. I'm in an apartment complex, and also I am really hoping that I don't end up having some technical difficulties with this thing, because I haven't used this microphone for anything other than my public ASMR videos, my house tour I did with this microphone, and then my vlog I did with this microphone. I've never had issues with it, but I've never recorded anything longer than 10-15 minutes with it, so I'm really hoping it doesn't just stop or anything, because I probably wouldn't notice if it did. And I hope it picks me up well, because I know I'm going to be moving it around a bunch. But yeah, let me formally introduce this microphone to you. This is my Tascam. I think it's the DX07 DR-07X is what it is. It's a wonderful microphone. I got it from Amazon for my first thought was like $100 something, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was over 200. I think it was like $250. But 100% recommend. It is so easy to use. I just pop a little micro SD card in there, start recording, and then I have an adapter that I can plug into my iPad and plug the SD card into, and it goes straight into my files, and I can directly import it from CapCut from there to connect it to my video. It takes 2 seconds. It's so easy. And it picks up sounds really, really well. I will say, there's probably not any of you that are planning to buy anything like this, but if you are, you definitely need to make sure you have one of these mic covers, because if you watch my house tour video, you'll see that I didn't know that I needed one of these, and I started recording, and it picks up every single little tiny gust of wind or breath that goes into it. So anytime that I would talk into it, all you could hear was the wind from my breath just going straight into the microphone. So yeah. That's this. This is Butters. You guys know Butters. You usually don't get a super great look at her because she's usually in my lap at my desk. But now you can see her. I actually really like this setup. And I think I'm going to start moving to doing this. Instead of sitting at my desk, I think this is going to be a great setup for a more chill podcast. Let's see a shift in the podcast. This is the change. Here's the change. Here's to making changes and making improvements. Hey, Butters. I say hi to the Cammy. Hi. Hi. I'm Butters. But yeah, I don't know if I even want to go into the details of why I'm anxious. I kind of want to talk about it, but I don't. I shouldn't. Let's distract ourselves. So, I recently upgraded my coffee bar. Now, I call it my coffee corner because it's all my things are in a corner in my kitchen on the counter. And I recently upgraded it by getting an espresso bean grinder or a coffee bean grinder. It can grind any kind of coffee beans, not just espresso. And it came in yesterday, and I made a coffee with it yesterday. It was so good. The reason I got it is because I have an espresso machine. I've talked about this before. I have the Drew Barrymore espresso machine. Works pretty good. It's like $100, pretty well priced espresso machine, and for the price it works really well. It's super user friendly. And I was buying espresso grounds from my local coffee shop because I love their espresso. It's my favorite espresso. And I didn't realize before that espresso grounds lose their flavor very quickly. After espresso beans have been ground, literally within I don't know, a day. I would say probably even less than that, probably within a few hours. Espresso grounds, the flavor of the espresso decreases. The quality decreases significantly. So I would be buying these grounds from my local coffee shop because I didn't have a grinder at home and I couldn't just buy the beans. And within a couple days, it just wouldn't taste good because I would buy half a pound, and that would last me a good few weeks. But then 3 days after I bought it, it tasted horrible. So I finally invested in a grinder. Came in yesterday, used it for the first time. Took me a while to figure it out, but oh my gosh, the difference it makes. It's crazy. I bought just regular espresso beans from the same coffee shop, and I ground them yesterday. Made my coffee. Delicious. And today, with my grinder, I also purchased some white chocolate sauce, some Torani white chocolate sauce, and Torani salted caramel syrup. And I made the 7 Brew sweet and salty syrup with it. It's just 1 part salted caramel, 1 part white chocolate. So I did half a cup of white chocolate, half a cup of salted caramel, mixed it together and put it in a pump bottle, and then used it to make a sweet and salty brevet from 7 Brew, and it tastes identical. I've done copycat recipes a million times for all kinds of different things. Porky, I'm gonna sit you over here for a little bit. I feel like you're taking up the whole view. Actually, no. He looks good right there. That's fine. You can be in the spotlight, Porky. It's fine. yeah, I've made a ton of copycat recipes about all kinds of things. And copycat recipes, they usually taste like pretty close to the original thing. This tastes exactly like a sweet and salty brevet from 7 Brew. It is unreal. So, very happy with my upgrade. My grinder was $130. Now, I will say, there are cheaper grinders. And I thought about getting a cheaper one, but this one looked really high quality. It has a nice little touch screen on it, and it's pretty. It's ivory. Butters is concerned. Okay, I think I'm done. What was I even saying? Oh, I got it because I had that one saved in my Amazon for forever. Come on, kitty. You want to come sit with me? You can take Porky's spot. Come on, sweet baby. She's so snuggly and cute. I love her so much. You're my sweet baby. Yes, you are. I love you, Butters. But yeah, definitely worth it. For me to spend. It was about double the price of some of the other grinders I was looking at that had good reviews. Like, a good few of them were like $50, $60, maybe $70. This one was $130, but I'm glad I spent the extra money. I really do like it, and I think it's gonna last me a long time. So, now that we've yapped about random things for 10 to 15 minutes like we usually do, let's pull up the APOD. Now, I don't have my PC like I normally do, but that's fine. I'm just gonna use my phone. Oh, and my boyfriend wanted us to start doing 10,000 steps a day starting today, and I have not put my watch on. And I'm sitting down, so I need to remember to do that when I get up. Alright, let's pull up the APOD. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the screen. Right there. APOD. Look, Butters is looking at it. She said, wow, that's so cool. I love astronomy. Okay, now what is this? It looks like a Tim Burton comic is what it looks like. It looks like this is supposed to be a Tim Burton comic. Today is the 31st of May, 2025. I'm recording on Saturday. Getting ahead of the game, I usually don't do that, but I didn't really have anything else to do today, so here we are. This is called Afterimage Sunset. On May 7th, the sun setting behind a church bell tower was captured in this filtered and manipulated digital skyscape. Why are they manipulating it? Why are we being manipulators? That's not cool. The sun setting behind a church bell tower was captured on this filtered and manipulated digital skyscape from Ragusa, Sicily, planet Earth. In this version of the image, the colors look bizarre. Butters. I love this setup. Like, you can see Butters. We're like chilling on the couch together. This actually gives me... Sorry, I'm like completely going off track from this. This is like... I feel like I should name my podcast something to do with this now. Like, sofa talks. I don't know. Give me some ideas, because I love this. It feels like we're friends and we're sitting and hanging out on the couch. It's not formal. I'm not sitting at my desk. We're just like sitting on the couch, like having a late night conversation, except it's noon 30. Okay, anyway. Yeah, give me some ideas for names. And you can see Butters. Isn't this so nice? Yeah, she'll usually come sit in my lap while I record videos and podcasts and all that, but you usually can't see her. And now you can. Look at her sweet little face. Okay. Anyway, in this version of the image, the colors look bizarre. Still, an intriguing optical illusion known as an afterimage can help you experience the same scene with a more natural-looking appearance. To try it, find the sunspots of active region AR4079 grouped near the bottom of the blue solar disk, relax, and stare at the dark sunspot group for about 30 seconds. Then close your eyes and shift your gaze to a plain white surface. In a moment, an after image of the sunset should faintly appear, but the after image sunset will have this image's complementary colors and a more normal yellow sun against a familiar blue sky. What? Okay, I have to try this now. To try it, find the sunspots of active region AR 4079 grouped near the bottom of the blue solar disk. So I'm going to turn my brightness up, and you guys try this too. Try this with me. Okay, so there's little dots at the bottom of the blue. So you stare at that for 30 seconds, then close your eyes or look at a plain white surface. Okay, 30 seconds. Ready, go. Can I blink? Am I allowed to blink? I'm not counting. Let's start counting. Let's assume we're at 12 seconds. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Close your eyes. Wait, I can kind of see it, but I can also see the out. Whoa, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Can you see it? I have to focus really hard. I can also see like the outline of my phone. Wait, I'm going to try that again. I'm going to look at the white wall. All right, let's try that again. 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. My eyes. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Oh my gosh, wait, I can see it on the wall. That is so weird. You have to focus really hard. The sky is blue though. Whoa. Okay, so if you just stare for a second, it starts to appear, and the sky is blue, and the sun is like red. They like swap colors. Wait, this is actually really cool. That's actually really cool. I'm really glad we got this one. It's interactive. I love that. Let me know if it worked for you guys. That's actually so cool. I'm gonna try to remember in editing to cover up the screen mostly with the picture so that you can see it. Okay. Well, that was sick. Let me look up after images. After image. Okay, well, it pulled up an anime video game. After image. Okay, never mind. I don't. All it's pulling up is this anime video game. Oh, my songs of the week. Okay, let's look at songs of the week on earbuds. How are you guys feeling? If you're here with anxiety, I hope you're feeling a little more relaxed. I'm definitely feeling a little bit better. Look at Butters. Slumped. I'm gonna pose for a thumbnail real quick with Butters in it. You wanna be my thumbnail, kitty? Okay. Never mind. She said no thumbnail. Oh, she's running away because Binks is coming over here. Popping his head up. I love this setup, y'all. Okay, sorry. Songs of the week. Okay, it looks like my microphone is still going strong. Hey. Now he's bullying her. Last week. Oh my gosh, can we load? Can we load, please? What's going on? I just clicked last week. I want to see my songs of the week last week. There we go. All right. We didn't go over this one last week. Number 1, Summer Love by Justin Timberlake. Yup. You heard me last week. I've been on the Justin Timberlake train. I feel like I looked at this one last week. Oh well. Summer Love by Justin Timberlake. Oh, what does it go like? I don't want to fall in love. Nope, that's the song by Kyle. Don't want to fall in love. Nope. Love cuts just like a knife. Let's hear this. Play it for half a second. You don't want to fall in love with me. This just can't be summer love. You see, we did talk about this song last week because I freaking sang it. Number 2 is Sin Poder Hablar. Sin Poder Hablar. Oh, if you like Spanish music, I don't know what the technical term is for it. Somebody let me know what the genre is. Sin poder hablar. What is this genre? I don't know. It's like it's in Spanish. Sin poder hablar. It's a really, really good song. I don't listen to a ton of Spanish music, but I love this song. Definitely recommend. Number 3 is What Goes Around by Justin Timberlake. What goes around, goes around, goes around, comes all the way back around. We talked about this one last week too. Number 4 is Never Ender by Tame Impala and Justice. Love that song. I was listening to a lot of Tame Impala and a lot of Justin Timberlake. And then number 5 is also Tame Impala. It's The Less I Know, The Better. Everyone knows this one. Wait, I want to hear this one. Am I singing the right song? The less I know, the better. Yeah, that's the right one. I was doing fine without you till I saw your face. Now I can't erase. And then my top album of the week was Currents by Tame Impala. My top artists of the week were Tame Impala, Justin Timberlake, and The Japanese House. I love The Japanese House so much. Yeah. So that's my songs of the week this week. Okay, there were a couple things I had written down to possibly talk about. Oh, Billie put out a vlog. I haven't watched all of it. She put out a vlog on her Instagram. Like, a whole, 10-minute vlog of, hold on, let me pull it up. It was, her, tour she's doing right now. It was so cool. I was like, I don't think she's ever put out anything like this before. Let's see, Billie Eilish. It literally feels like we're sitting and hanging out on the couch. I love this. I love the setup. We are definitely doing this from now on. I don't know why I wasn't doing this from the beginning. Yeah, Europe Leg 1 vlog. And it's like... Sorry. It's just a bunch of random clips of, her in Europe. Her tour. Yeah, it's 13 minutes long. Sorry. I haven't watched the whole thing. I watched the first couple minutes, and then I realized how long it was, and it was, super late at night, and I was like, I can't stay up. I gotta go to bed. But I'm definitely gonna be watching it soon, so, yeah. Check that out. I love seeing things like that from her, because it's just, she's just a human, dude. She's just another human. You making some biscuits, kitty? Everybody stop ordering biscuits. She's getting behind. She has too many orders. She's tired. She's working a double shift. So many biscuits. So many biscuit orders. We're going crazy. I love seeing stuff like that from her, because it's just like, she's just a normal human being. We forget that about celebrities. They're just normal people, dude. They're just normal people. They just have a different job than us. And, like, everything they do gets put on the internet or on the media, you know? It's so cool to see stuff like that. So, I definitely recommend watching that. I saw the first few clips, and she's just funny. Like, she doesn't care. She doesn't... I want to say this, but I feel like I'm gonna get some, like, people disagreeing, which is fine. There you go, kitty. Is that comfy? She just acts like a normal human being. And she's funny. I feel like she doesn't act like other celebrities. I don't know, maybe I'm biased. But I feel like she's different. She's different. She's not a normal girl. She's funny. Sorry, I feel like I'm being boring this episode, but I'm trying to be chill, and also I just don't feel great, so I'm sorry if I'm not funny. I hope I'm interesting to watch. Anyways, I also wanted to talk about the kind of dog that I want. So obviously I have 2 cats, and I just graduated college. Girl, I just readjusted for you. I just graduated college, so I don't have a ton of money, and I don't have a job yet, so I don't have a ton of money, and I'm not making a ton of money. I'm making, like, probably half of what I need to be making from social media to do it full time. But eventually, probably when I get married, I want to get a dog. And I've changed my mind a million times on the kind of dog that I want to get. And I think that I'm still leaning toward border collie. I feel like for the past year, I've been kind of like, okay, yeah, I think border collie is the direction I want to go, because they're just such good dogs. And I have always wanted to have a dog that I can just put on a... Hey, you quit that. No. They scratch on this freaking this couch and ruin it. It drives me insane. Which is why I have this blanket over the arm, but he literally just got under the blanket and started scratching it. Of course you did. Of course you found the loophole. You idiot. You're an idiot. They're just such good dogs. And I've always wanted to have a dog that I can take outside with me off of a leash and it not run away and it listen to me. Right, Binks? He said, absolutely not. We do not need a dog. Yeah, that's what I've always wanted. And my family had a few different dogs growing up, and we've always had inside dogs. We've always had, like, moderately trained inside dogs. I remember the first dog we got, like, since I've been, a conscious human being that's able to retain memories. In first grade, for my birthday, my dad took me to the pound, and we got a beagle. I picked out a beagle. I wanted a Dalmatian. Of course, they didn't have any freaking Dalmatians at the pound. I was an idiot, and I thought they had every kind of dog at the pound. And I went there, I was like, I want a Dalmatian. And he was like, good luck. He was like, good luck. We're going to have to get a Dalmatian from a breeder probably across the country, because aren't Dalmatians, like, super rare? Yeah, there were no Dalmatians, but there was a little beagle in there, and his name from the pound, believe it or not, was Smut. S-M-U-T, Smut. Wish I was joking. I did not know that smut was a term for a very specific genre of literature until a year or two ago. I had no clue that was a thing at all. And it ruined my childhood. I don't know if, like, anybody else knew what it was growing up, like, that knew about our dog, and they just, like, didn't say anything, probably because I was in first grade. But yeah, we had him for a while. We were keeping him in the backyard for the most part, but we had just moved into this house that had, like, literally, like, it was like a picket fence, like a white picket fence, but it had big gaps in between the poles, and he would just shimmy out of those and, like, run off, like, all the time. So we stopped keeping him outside, and we started keeping him inside. He was really scared of men at first, and just people in general, but mostly men. And I remember I had this, like, American Girl doll horse toy that was literally the size of, like, a medium-sized dog. And he was terrified of that thing. I remember bringing him home, and he, like, actually freaked out. Oh, Binks is getting in a cabinet. Hold on. Where are you? Are you in the cabinet? Get out. He's literally in the cabinet. Stupid. You're so stupid. Now he wants to play. He's running around. Yeah, he was terrified of that American Girl doll horse toy, which, valid. I mean, he probably had some trauma. He was in the pound. He probably didn't come from a very good place. So yeah, he was scared of a lot of people. He was scared of that horse toy. But he was a sweet dog. He wasn't violent or aggressive or anything. He would just, hide from people and bark at people. Typical dog things. So, like, that was my first, like, real dog experience. And, he was not a dog you could take outside and have him off of a leash, or even on a leash. Like, I don't mind a dog that you keep on a leash, but, like, it just listens to you, He wasn't like that at all. You couldn't even take him on a leash. Eventually, we had to give him to our grandparents to keep out on their farm. Not farm, but they have a ton of land, like 50 acres almost, out in the middle of nowhere. And they had a dog. They had neighbors that had dogs that just roamed, and so we ended up letting him go out there because he just wasn't really great for us. Like, we couldn't keep him in the backyard. I guess my parents wanted to keep him outside, but we couldn't because he would run away. And ended up letting him stay out there, and then he got hit by a car out there. So, rest in peace, Smut. He was my first real dog. And then while we had Smut, we kind of took in a stray cat that was in our neighborhood, and she would show up at our front porch. We started feeding her, and she would stay outside. Like, she was a stray cat that we would just feed, and we named her Mama Kitty. For what reason, I don't know. Probably one of us kids, me or Bella, named Mama Kitty. She didn't have any kittens. We just called her Mama Kitty. She was, like, white. She was kind of big for a girl cat. And we took care of her for a few years, I feel like, and then she got cancer, I think, and had to be put down. She was sweet. And I remember when she passed away, I was devastated. Oh my gosh. I remember just, like, sitting with my dad in the recliner. I was probably in third grade or something, somewhere around there, and just sitting with my dad and bawling my eyes out about her dying. So after a few days of me doing that, my parents were like, you know what, let's get a cat. We had never gotten a cat. We never bought a cat because Mama Kitty was just a stray that we started feeding and kind of became ours. They were like, let's just get a cat. So we go to the pound, and we picked out Hamlet. He was a kitten. He was a tiny little kitten. He was oh my gosh, I almost just said Taliban. Tabby. I don't even know if that's right. What does a tabby cat look like? He's one of those gray and black cats. Tabby cat. Yeah, he's a tabby. He looks like that. But yeah, we got him as a kitten. I don't really have many pictures and videos because it was so long ago. We didn't really take many pictures and videos. You know, cell phones were still pretty new. And he is still alive. We have had him for, I mean, he's like 15 years old. 15 plus. We've had him for forever. And he is fat now. You've probably seen him before if you've been here for a long time or if you've scrolled to the bottom of my YouTube channel. I have a few videos that he pops into. You'll see him in the thumbnail, I think. And also, I think I have a video that's literally like, it's a live stream replay that I uploaded like back at the beginning of my social media career in like 2021. And I think one of the videos in the title, it says like meet Hamlet or something. But yeah, he's a fatty. Like, he is ginormous. He's like, I don't even know, like 20 pounds. 20, 30 pounds probably. And he is by some miracle still alive. And yeah, he's a great cat. I've loved him to death. So we got him. And then we got, I can't remember if we got Hamlet or Mona first, but somewhere in the order after we didn't have Smut anymore, we went back to the pound. No, we didn't get Mona from the pound. There was a breeder, and it was a really sketchy breeder. I feel like I remember going there, and there were like, should I say this? There were like a ton of dogs in these like kennels at this breeder. Like outside they had like a bunch of like little squares of fences. I don't know, maybe this is just like my memory being wrong because I was young and it was so long ago, but I feel like I remember going there to get her, and she was a little Jack Russell Chihuahua mix. She was a tiny dog, and this breeder had all of these different little fence cages. It was just a bunch of fences and little squares like lined up next to each other. And I remember there being like dead dogs there. Like just in the kennels. I don't know. It was sketch. I might have to ask Mom about that if my memory is correct. But yeah, we got her from there. Thank God we got her out of there because that place was weird. And she was a sweet little dog. She had so much energy. I mean, she was a Jack Russell Chihuahua mix. Jack Russells and Chihuahuas are like two of the most hyper little dogs ever. But she was so sweet. She was a really good dog. She wasn't a dog you could take outside, you know, off a leash, and it'll stay with you and listen to you and do whatever. But she was a good inside dog, and I remember I just remembered there was one time she was outside with us. Maybe we did keep her off a leash outside sometimes, because she was outside with us, and like some dog from the neighborhood, it was like a big like tan lab or something. It was a big dog, and I remember it was tan. I think it was a lab or maybe a golden retriever. I don't think a golden retriever would do this though. I think it was a lab. Ran up, and we were like, oh my gosh, whose dog is that? And then next thing we know, that dog is like running up aggressively, and we're like, and so Mona freaks out and starts running at the dog, and they get into it and they start dog fighting, and I'm like 10 years old maybe. I'm like a little child, so I can't break this up. I don't remember how it got broken up, but I know they fought. Isn't that so crazy how the brain works? Isn't it so crazy that I can remember that was a tan dog? Like, memories are so crazy. The brain is so crazy. Anyway. Yeah, they fought, and she got a little beaten up and had to get taken to the vet and get some stitches and stuff, and ended up like dislocating her leg or something. It messed up her leg, and so after that her leg would like actually dislocate from time to time, and she started having back problems because we had really tall beds and she would jump down from the beds a lot, and so like it messed up her spine. So she started having some really bad health problems, eventually had to get put down. She was a really good dog though. And then after Mona, I think is when we got Cosmo and Prince. So Cosmo and Prince we still have now. They're my family dogs. They are German Shepherd, Australian Shepherd doodles. They're a mixed breed we got from a breeder. I want to say we picked them up from like Indiana or Illinois or something. I remember I drove with my dad like super, super far to go pick them up when they were puppies. They're brothers. And one of them is black, one of them is white. And Cosmo was technically mine, and Prince was technically my sister's. Prince is black, Cosmo's white. And they're also good dogs, but they are not well trained, and they could not go outside without a leash. We have a fenced-in backyard, and they'll go back there and play and whatever. But they, like, you could not take them out of that fence without a leash. They would run off, or they would get hurt or something. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. But, yeah, them two, and then my sister got another dog, because she rides horses. Okay, wait, before we got the other dog, she started getting horses. So I was in high school. I remember it was right before COVID, so 2019. So I was a sophomore or a junior in high school. I was 15, 16 years old, so this was like 7 years ago. I'm so old. And she had been wanting to get a horse for a long time, but we didn't have land to put a horse on. But we had family friends that had horses and had some land and told us we could keep a horse there. So she gets a horse, and we would go out there and take care of it, whatever. I remember going out there a ton through COVID. So that was the first horse. Her name is Rose, and she's not well trained. My sister wanted to do barrel racing. I don't know if you know anything about that, but it is where they set up a bunch of barrels, and the horse, like, you ride the horse and go around them on a pattern and stuff and race. Whoever gets the fastest time wins, whatever. And she wanted to do that, but Rose was not trained. She got her when she was a little bit younger, when Rose was a little bit younger. She wasn't very old. She wasn't trained. And she never ended up getting trained. I think Bella tried to train her or take her to a trainer at some point, but Rose just was basically not trainable. And then Rose got pregnant because she was staying at the family friend's land with another horse in her thing, and got pregnant, and then ended up having a miscarriage, unfortunately. But yeah, that's Rose. And so then Bella was like, well, I still want to do barrel racing, so can we get me a horse that I can race on? And she's had a few horses that she's like gotten and then sold, and I can't remember all of them. I know she had Jazzy. She was a darker brown horse, and I want to say Jazzy is the one she got after Rose and barrel raced for a little while. And then eventually we moved houses, got a house with some land and a pasture. So I think we had Jazzy and Rose for a while at the old house and then at the new house. And then she eventually sold Jazzy, and she got Thunder, which she has Thunder now. And then I think she had another horse and sold it, and then another horse and sold it. And then she got a third horse. So now we have 3 horses at my family's house. Like, now we have 3 horses, Hamlet, so 1 cat, and we have 3 dogs. We have Cosmo and Prince, and then my sister wanted to get a cattle dog, or like a barrel racing dog, or rodeo dog. That's what she called it, a rodeo dog. She wanted to get a dog she could take the rodeos. And one of her friends had a dog that had just had puppies or something, I think, and it was, what kind of dog was it? Dang it, I can't remember what kind of dog it was. Her name was Reba. Why can't I remember what kind of dog it was? How's this doing? Alright, we're doing good. You're doing good on the microphone. It's a little dog. It's a popular breed. Oh my gosh, this is gonna drive me insane. Well, she was a little dog. She had a ton of energy. And she got her when she was like a puppy. Like a infant puppy. Like needed to be fed by the bottle puppy. I'm pretty sure she got her for free or like super cheap because she got it from a friend. Named her Reba Jane. And had her for a little while, but as she grew up, as Reba got older, she got aggressive. Like bad aggressive. Like biting people, hurting people, aggressive. And so we ended up having to get rid of her. Unfortunately, we could not keep her. But yeah. So then it was just Cosmo and Prince again. And then my sister still wanted a rodeo dog. So she got Dakota, which is her dog that she has right now. And I can't remember for the life of me what kind of dog Reba or Dakota is either. Blue heeler. Reba is a blue heeler. Yeah. And Dakota, maybe it'll come to me in a minute. But she's a little bit bigger. She's a medium-sized dog. She's the same size as Prince and Cosmo. And she is also a crazy freaking ball of energy that is not trained and doesn't go to rodeos. Ended up not being a rodeo dog. Is just my sister's dog now. And she is crazy. She's still pretty young. So she has some growing up to do. Hopefully she'll grow out of being so crazy. But yeah. So now my family has Cosmo, Prince, and Dakota, which they call her Coda. So 3 dogs, Hamlet, a cat, and 3 horses. 3 dogs, a cat, and 3 horses. They basically run a farm. They just need some cows and chickens. Like, they have so many animals there. But yeah, I've never had my own dog. I mean, Cosmo was kind of my dog. Like, he would stay with me when I was in, like, middle and high school, but then when I came to college, I couldn't bring him. Obviously, I was moving into a dorm, and, like, I couldn't separate him from Prince. So, I've never had my own dog that I've taken care of and paid for and all of that. But I would like to get one when I get married, and I think I'm pretty set on a border collie or a Bernese Mountain Dog, which they are actually a lot more similar than I thought they were, in terms of like their behavior and their needs, and things like that. Bernese Mountain Dogs are typically bigger, but I think border collies, like, you can't go wrong with a border collie. I have never seen someone own a border collie that is not like the most well-trained dog I have ever seen. You can literally, like, I want a dog that I can take to the beach and throw a frisbee for, and he'll bring it back to me and not run off. Like, he will play fetch. He will sit when I tell him to sit. He will, when I walk on a leash, when I walk him on a leash, he will sit, like, he'll walk next to me. He doesn't pull the leash. He's not barking at other dogs. He's not, like, that's just something I've always wanted, and I think Border Collie is the direction to go for that. I used to want a Doberman really bad because I also want a dog that, like, can protect me, but I don't know if Border Collies are really good for that. I feel like Bernese Mountain Dogs would be a little better for that, but then I start leaning toward a lab, because it's like labs can be trained really, really, really well. They're very smart dogs. They're very obedient if you train them to be that way. And they're also, like, they can tear a person apart if you need them to, It's not like a pit bull. Like, I don't want a pit bull. And I thought about getting a Rottweiler too, because I just love Rottweilers. They're so cute. And they're so snuggly and big. Oh my gosh, that's one thing. Like, I want a dog that feels like I have a bear living in my house. I don't know if I've ever told y'all, but grizzly bears are my favorite animal on this planet. And I have dreamed of hugging a grizzly bear. I've always wanted to hug a grizzly bear, but you can't. If not friend, then why friendship? Why friendship if not friend? It's so saddening. Ugh. If I saw a grizzly bear, like when I go to the zoo, there's a bear in there, all I want to do is go in there and hug him. I just want to hug. I want to snuggle with a grizzly bear. But then I would get mauled. So, can't really do that. But yeah, I want a big old dog. I love big animals. But I also need to, like, take into account my cats. So I've kind of strayed away from Doberman Rottweiler because as much as I feel like I could train a dog to not be aggressive toward my cats or my future children, the risk of having, you know, a Doberman or a Rottweiler or, you know, especially a pit bull, it's not really worth it. And I probably wouldn't be able to take one of those out without a leash and throw a frisbee on the beach with it, like I have imagined in my dreams. So it feels like for the things that I want, to have a protective dog and a well-trained dog and a dog that's going to be good to my cats and future children, I feel like lab is going to end up being the best choice. Which I've never specifically wanted a lab because I feel like in my head they're very generic dogs. And I want something, see, this sounds terrible, but I've always wanted something like cool and special and like a pretty dog. But I've met some pretty cool labs. One of my boyfriend's my boyfriend's best friend and his wife have a lab. It's a silver lab. He is one of the prettiest. He is truly like the prettiest lab I've ever seen. He is so pretty. He has really pretty eyes. And I don't know if you've ever seen a silver lab before. I didn't even know they were a thing. But they are so pretty. Their fur is beautiful. It like actually glistens. It's so pretty. And he's pretty well trained. They've trained him pretty well. I just get scared for my cats. So that's why I feel like a border collie would be better. And like, once I'm married, if I marry my current boyfriend, which seems like I'm on the right track to do, hopefully, I won't need to worry about having something to protect me for the most part, unless I'm like home alone without my boyfriend or husband. He's a very protective guy, and he's a big guy. Like, not many things are getting past him. So maybe I should just get a border collie. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I want to know. Let me know what you think. I think I want a border collie. They're good dogs. And they're pretty dogs. And I don't think a border collie would hurt Butters or Binks. Truly, I don't. I am a little bit fearful that a lab would possibly. So you just never know, especially if you're getting a dog as a puppy. You never know. They could, like Reba, my sister's dog that we had to get rid of. She was the sweetest little baby puppy ever. I mean, she was basically an infant, and then when she was a puppy, she was just a normal puppy. And she was not abused. She wasn't hurt. She wasn't treated poorly. She was treated really well. She was an inside dog, raised with other dogs that were not aggressive, you know, around people that loved her and treated her well. And she grew up and she was just inherently aggressive. So that's just my only fear with getting like a lab or, you know, a breed that's typically more aggressive. Labs I don't think typically are more aggressive, but I have seen aggressive labs. And I don't think I've seen aggressive border collies. So anyways, I'm just rambling about the same thing over and over again. But yeah, was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Oh, I kind of wanted to do some personality quizzes, but I think we can maybe save that for next time because I've been on here for a while now. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm feeling way better. I fear when I stop recording, I'm gonna feel bad again. But I might just go ahead and start editing to try and keep my mind occupied. Yeah. I hope that you are feeling okay. I hope that you didn't come into this with some bad anxiety. But if you did, I hope that this has kind of eased your mind and distracted you, made you feel a little better. If you like this setup, please let me know. And honestly, I love this setup. Like, truly, this is amazing. This is 1,000 times better than what I was doing. It's so much more comfy, and it feels so much more like we're just hanging out and just chatting, you know? Hopefully this microphone did well, and hopefully I can export the sound of it to this video, because if I just recorded this whole thing with no audio, I'm gonna be really upset. I'm gonna be really upset. And I'm probably gonna be in a bad mood again, and I don't know, maybe I'll just upload it anyway. Screw it, I'll just upload it anyway with the audio from my iPad. Come here, Binky. Wanna say hi to everybody? Flashing everybody. How about we turn around a little bit? Yeah. Hey, sweet boy. He loves getting scratchies right here. Back scratchies, yeah. Such a sweet, snuggly boy. I have really good cats. They're very, very sweet, very friendly. Butters does get a little bit angry sometimes to people, but not often. Anyway, love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I hope you're feeling good right now. If you're not, I have so many videos that I think would be helpful for you. I actually have an anxiety grounding video. It's a countdown. Look at him. It's a countdown from 100. That's meant to ground you from anxiety. And I uploaded it a couple of years ago, so you might have to scroll a little bit, or you can just look it up. It's literally called like grounding, anxiety grounding exercise countdown from 100 or something like that. On my channel. So check that out. Maybe it'll help you. Or you can watch any of my other videos, all my normal videos or my podcasts. They're really good for being distractions and also to, relax you and help you feel better. So I say hi. What are you looking at? Freaking weirdo. Alright, I love you guys so much, and I'm actually really excited for next week's episode. I'm excited to record here again. I really love this. Yeah, I love you guys so much. And I'll see you next time. Good night.